my problem with the Prime Directive and these ideas is that there's this, they operate under the belief that exposing themselves to a pre-warp culture is going to be so detrimental, and it's going to really skew the evolution of the society and whatnot. But that doesn't take into account the real life idea of like alien abduction. Because it's
right.
like I kind of side with Archer when he's kind of musing in the jail. Where, what if we just told him the truth and took him up to the Enterprise and showed him around and had dinner in the captain's quarters and then dropped him off? It's like, yeah, if you did that, the guy you did it with would probably come back being like, guys, I just went to a spaceship.
Yeah.
And the captain let me sit in his chair, and we had
chef made us a meal, individual meals.
The chef made us an individual meal, oddly lacking in gravy where there should have been gravy, and it was amazing. They've got busty women with pointy. You won't believe the women on the ship; they're unbelievable. Yep. And then they immediately go, okay, sure. We don't think the captain is fit for command, so we're gonna have a quick mutiny, real quick.
Yeah.
Like I think they could very feasibly have stamped out this problem by just telling them the truth and doing that exact thing, because one person spouting all of this stuff is not going to change an entire civilization. Most likely that person is going to be thought of as a kook, or like, okay, the captain or the general's under a little bit of stress. Maybe we give him some time off,
Yeah, I think
sorry, just one last thing. Because every time that they do this, if they see what's going on, it's going to drastically change their evolution. They're always operating. It always feels like they're operating under the idea that the civilization that they're dealing with is like dumb or primitive. And
it works for super primitive. I think it works for unbelievably primitive societies that would be like, this is a god thing that's come down.
Like in Into Darkness, the beginning of Into Darkness, I think that works perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it's a civilization of people who seem to be,
they probably have alien TV shows. They probably have TV shows about aliens coming down. Yeah, yeah.
Then it becomes a thing of like, okay, sure, I get the idea that if you step in, like if you see this war going on and the Enterprise like flies down and decides to defuse the situation, sure, yeah, then you are doing something that you shouldn't be doing. But as far as like telling one person that you're an alien or something, or the communicator, it's like, is this, how big of a deal really is this? These are not idiots.
It's really the problem that the discovery of warp drive is a fairly bad marker to go by. It should probably be something more along the lines of, has this society gone through a scientific revolution or an enlightenment period where they're not sort of shackled to like the pre-Galileo times in humanity. Like they're at least open to what's going on outside of it. Because if maybe I just don't have an imagination, but if aliens visited us, and it was documented.
What's this? Whoa! What's this? If shit,
right?
Wes?
Well, if they had something beyond just Navy videos of UFOs flying around and doing stuff, if they came down and they're like, "Hi, we're aliens. Like, welcome. You're not alone in the universe." Would we be irreparably damaged through that? Like, I think that as a caveman, if you saw an alien come down and you're like, "Oh, like this is the creator of the universe," that's a problem for you. But if it came down like us or the aliens in this episode, I feel like people would be like, this is unbelievable. But if anything, I almost feel the Alliance, they'd be like, we can't have a war with each other. There's so much hope of like what's possible. Like if we survive this and we become these people, and it seems more hopeful than anything. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
One of my favorite details that didn't make it into the movie Prometheus, or maybe it does, I don't think it's in the movie, is that when they talk about these engineers, these aliens coming to Earth, there was the idea that one of them had come back to Earth to talk about the enlightenment of the engineers people and the potential of the human race.
Yep.
And that was about 2,000 years ago, and they ended up crucifying him. So like the idea that Jesus was one of these guys and it didn't take, and they murdered him.
Yeah.
But like I actually think the warp drive thing is a false marker, because wouldn't it be better if the aliens showed up after the civilization figures out astronomy? Because like if you're like you're saying, if you're a pre-Galileo civilization that has no concept of your planet in the universe or in the solar system or whatever,
relative to where you are in the universe,
yeah, an alien showing up is going to blow your fucking mind. But if you understand the concept that, oh wait, we are just one of many planets in this larger system, then I feel like if the aliens show up, then they're like, hey man, welcome to the party. You just figured it out. Yep. There's so much stuff you can do. We hope to see you again once you get your cars working. Once you get your ships working, it'll be great. We'll go out and we'll go visit Pluto or something. But like that way, it makes it more aspirational almost. Whereas if you wait till they get the warp function, it's like on Earth they just finished 3 world wars. Right. It's not like developing a faster engine all of a sudden means we're a more enlightened people or something.
I think Star Trek takes that as that is what happened. Like once you develop that, everyone gets along and sings Kumbaya at that point.
Yeah, because every time there's a new energy source that's created, that's exactly what happens. If anything, there would be a 4th world war over the technology for warp speed.
Yeah, I think it's a more realistic interpretation, just because at that point, introducing yourself is not the be-all, end-all threat. Like you can still have a philosophy where I'm not going to give you guys any technology because you have to earn it yourself. Like you do the work. I'm not just going to give you a replicator or give you a warp drive. But the fear of just them knowing that you're not from their planet would evaporate, and that fixes a lot of Star Trek plots in some ways. Like in this one, they'd still have to go down for the communicator, but there's no real danger in telling these people that they're aliens. They can't let them have this technology.
Right.